What's up? You guys good? Okay, very quiet crowd. Very interesting for a Friday. Did like someone hurt you today, or how was work? Was work okay? You guys making ends meet? Okay. I'm a low energy guy, so if you were hoping that like I was the cure or something, or like I was gonna come in hot, some of you are puzzled. You know, a lot of you are wondering when will he kick it into gear. I'm in gear. This is the gear. This is like, my speed the entire time. Um, my voice is at that frequency that hypnotizes cats. So like that applies to people too. Every once in a while someone's getting a little so just stay grounded. Keep something in front of you that you can hold on to, play it out. I don't know. A dream. If you are still trying to figure me out, I've recently discovered a great description. Just think diabetic Ray Romano, and then you have all you need now. That's all you, just imagine me never stopping ice cream. I'm also Persian, which is useful if you have like your scorecard, which brown, just turn it to P, Persian. People don't always know what that is. This country, a lot of people are like, it's so progressive, and you're like, yeah, sure, and then you go anywhere but Toronto, Montreal, or Ottawa, and you're like, what the, like, what's this town called again? Yeehaw? You're just there. You're the one it's like a Guinness Book of World Records. You're the only person that's ever been there. I wasn't even off the grid this time. I told this woman in Cambridge. Do you guys know where Cambridge is? Okay, I'm not talking about the UK Cambridge. I'm talking about en route Cambridge, like, like rest stop, take a break, that Cambridge. I'm there and I like tell this woman I'm Persian, and she starts to compliment me on baguettes. I'm like, what Persians are you talking to that told you we had baguettes? She's like, yeah, you guys make, some of the best baguettes, that I've ever had. And I'm like, how much more effort is it to correct her? I'm like, that's us. I'm like, that what? Whatever. Like it makes no difference in my life. Persians, we've been working on that recipe for the Persian baguette for like minimum 5,000 years. You ever go look at Persepolis, just like when you're bored at work, you just Google Persepolis, you just see those stone carvings, there's men with swords, and there's lions and different creatures. Those were baguettes. Those aren't swords, actually. They were just they were feeding them. They were like, you hungry? That's a food mural. That's why we made those, so that eventually someday you could go and observe those culturally. But yeah, I'm Persian. I grew up here. Like I was born here. There's not much else really to that. I mean, my parents, they wanted me to have a normal life. Like they made sure I wouldn't end up weird, whatever. There's some kids who just celebrate weird holidays, and no, everything was the same. I was allowed to watch Disney movies. I mean, just Aladdin, not all of them. I just thought Disney made one movie. I was like, oh, Aladdin, and it's actually Aladdin. I don't know who Aladdin is, but it's like, oh, Aladdin is on, great. And then when you're brown and you watch Aladdin, it's not exactly like a movie that you like sing along and you're cozy and relaxed. I'm like paying attention, like me and my sister are like glued. And by the end we're like, okay, so when we grow up, like, are we gonna have to steal bread? Like, what's the message from Disney for like people like us? And then here I am, 25 years later at the self-checkout, just taking bread and just like, tossing it like behind my back, like into the little like, section that the alarm goes up, unexpected item in bagging, and you have to win an Oscar, like what, like wow, how'd that get there? And then the snitch comes over, you're like, oh, sorry, yeah. I am Persian. Most of my family's still in Iran, like my immediate family is here. My dad, who is an old school Persian. There's really just two types. There's like the happy, positive. There's very few of them, but they exist. They're on your TikTok algorithm, just like, yeah, man, 7 ways to use an orange, to like grow your hair, man. It's like, I don't know who there's literally like several Persians that are like, man, baking soda, it fixes everything. He's like putting it into an open wound. You're like, okay, that's not who we are. Like my dad is old school Persian. He's from that era where like, like if a kid falls off their bike, let's say, rather than help, my dad will just be like, when I was your age, I could fly. Like just a comment, and then he's like, figure it out. And then, anytime I try to make my dad laugh, it like starts with a smile, then it auto-corrects into a frown. It's sort of like a self-guided process. It's like, hey, whoa, you cheat me. Like he thinks it's sorcery or something. Like comedy's like witchcraft. Like I got him somehow. And he like tries to he's like, get this off me. Like it's a very interesting, but that's fair because Persians, we're not known for comedy. There must be like 14 Persian comedians altogether. And the numbers are going down, not up. There's hardly any Persian comedy. Like I think we have one more joke than Germany. I don't know how many, but I remember I asked my grandpa once to tell me jokes in our language, and my grandpa brings out a book. I'm like, we have a book? And he like dusts it off a little bit, and he's like reading me the punchlines. Literally every punchline in the book was, and then everyone dies. Like it's that, and that's like hilarious. He's like, oh, here it says there were no survivors. And you're like, okay. I look at my uncles and they're like, I love this joke. This joke is great. Tell it again. And you're like, oh, okay. I am Persian, and of course I live at home. That's like the most Persian thing. Like Persians know this, the ones in here know. You never get kicked out. The door's open, they're like, hopefully, but like nobody ever kicks you out. It's not the same like if you're white, they're like, get out. Like there's never a discussion like that. It's like not until you ate first. Like there's always some sort of system that you have to stay home. But they're like, please leave. But the problem is when you live at home, you know that saying of like your mental health is the rent? I don't pay rent, but you pay it in like mental decline. Like I'm paying for it. Like if they did an MRI scan, they'd be like, you're definitely paying rent. It's not like a money rent. It's like a, wow, where's the amygdala? It's just, the whole thing is gone. It's like too small. What's happening? And then it's obvious, like, because, my parents are just there all the time. And like, I'll come upstairs to work in the morning. I have a 9-to-5 job, obviously. And then it's 8:59 a.m. when I'm going to punch in and start working, log in. And who's there waiting for me but my dad, at the top of the stairs, just standing there with his hands behind his back, just looking at me with his big glasses. He's got these reading glasses that make his eyeballs look like a dragonfly's eyeballs, like huge eyes, just looking at me. And he's like, good morning, the CEO is here. Wow, look at this. Mr. Executive, how did you sleep? Eventually you're like, I slept pretty good. Like you have to answer him. But yeah, so obviously my parents were hoping for more when they moved to this country. I think they swam. I don't know what the deal is, how they got here. They found their way, and they, were maybe hoping for more than stand-up. Like a lot of immigrants probably know this at home. Your parents are like, we fed you, like no one ended your life. Like, when are you going to be prime minister? Like, should we move to Ottawa now? Or like, should we wait a little bit till you figure it out? It's like, it's never going to happen. I failed French. It wasn't even close. My parents couldn't even help me. What's like, literally, I brought my French homework to show my dad. And he's like, why do all these letters have hats? Like, he just couldn't. He was like, you're on your own. So there was we're never going to Ottawa, Dad. But then this is how my dad describes my career, because, when you do stand up, you're, in this city and in this town and this place. And so you're all over. And one day my dad goes, you know what you are, Faraz, my son? I figured you out. He goes, you are like a leaf. My dad goes, you are like a leaf. You have no purpose. Zero. He's like, and just like a leaf, today you are this way, tomorrow you're that way, maybe you're up, mostly you are down. A dog comes and pee-pees on you, and you're stuck to a fence at the school. That's your life, man. You're just like, you know, whatever. And I'm like, well, I try to defend myself. I'm like, okay, time out, Dad. Leaves have a purpose. Besides photosynthesis, there's an obvious one. What happens every fall? What do white women do? They take a pumpkin spice latte, Dad. They go observe the leaves, Dad. They book hotels. There's an industry behind this. And I'm like describing this to him, like, Dad, pumpkin spice latte leaves, these are the white girl infinity stones. They open portals to Marshalls. They're in the clearance section now. Is this bergamot? Like they have all, and then so he's listening to this and he's like, yeah, really? Except you are not those leaves. And I'm like, what? He's like, when people in the jungle who have finished doing a number 2, now they are looking not hard, they are looking for something, anything to wipe themselves with. You are those leaves. I go, oh, thanks, Dad. I'm going to remember that for Father's Day. I just put a leaf in the card. I just put a leaf, the card opens and a leaf just falls out. And that's it. My name is Faraz Niafattah. That's my time. Good night.